Good morning and welcome to Real Talk with Tamara. Actually, it's the afternoon at this point. I hope that you guys are doing okay today. As you come into the room, please hit the like button. Also, if you have not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. I want you guys to know how much I appreciate all of the subscribers that I have been getting, all of the support and things of that nature. I want you to know that I appreciate you so much as we consistently go up. I'm going to, because I still have people that are not subscribed that's looking at the channel, is slightly more. Please remember to hit the subscription button, and I'm going to put that up there so that you can remember to hit the subscription button. But I hope that you guys are having a really good um, holiday. Of course, we know it is New Year's, or not New Year's, look at me. It is Christmas Eve, okay? And a New Year's is coming up though, and then tomorrow is Christmas. So I know so many people are just getting ready for cooking and things of that nature. Um, Down here in the part city in Mississippi that I live in, we kind of had some outages, okay? And they're doing it all throughout Memphis and I believe Arkansas because they say there's a shortage. So of electricity. So they're doing like a rolling blackout where they are cutting people's electricity off randomly because of this shortage. Okay, so trust me, we've been wrapped up. I got a lake in the back of my house. Okay, so um the water is always cold coming up, you know, off of that lake. And I have a patio in my den area, and so I've had to put towels and things of that nature down because it has been freezing. Of course, it's always colder around the water. But my neighbors have been so sweet, you know. Everybody in this little subdivision has been, making sure that everybody is okay. I'm okay, but the heat just came back on. I got to get started, and my food is not thawed out, that I'm supposed to cook. But anyways, enough of the short talk. I wanted to talk about Big Scar's death, okay? And we know that tragically Big Scar passed away. He was only 22 years old, and although they have not released how he died, people are speculating on how he died. And the first time that when I first went live the other day, when I first heard about it, I put into the atmosphere that even though they're saying that it's not foul play, there are still some questionable situations. I said that, okay? Um, and the mere fact that, Big Scar that morning at around 9 o'clock, he had posted in his Facebook story that he found out somebody was stealing from him, and he had a dude that he would give the shirt off of his back, or somebody would give the shirt off of his back to, had walked out on him, and he don't do bad business and things of that nature. Everything is just so questionable to me. I know that some people, have put into the atmosphere that one of his friends could have gave him something. I don't know. I mean, in a world where, as I was saying early on, okay, as a matter of fact, before anybody posted, I said it. Okay, um, I started posting it. I said early on that I just kind of found it was, in a world of snakes, you and people don't have any respect for people. They have respect. The only thing that they care about is money. You got so many people ruining other people's lives and ultimately ruining their lives because they're not going to get away with it for some damn money. Okay. And so it is definitely questionable. I know they're saying that, allegedly he was on lean and things of that nature. We always saw him on lean. We saw videos of him when I started, looking through his videos that day he passed away. I saw on his Facebook page and things of that nature where, there was some situations on the video where you could tell that he was beyond high. He had gone far, you know, far beyond even space. That's how high he was. And I think it's a sad thing. A lot of these young men and women don't know that these drugs are dropped off into the neighborhood for them to try them one time, and the way that they got the chemicals, because we are chemical beings. When you try them one time, you're strung out. That's just the way that it is. At one point when there was crack, when they dropped crack into our communities, at some point there was recovery. People was able to start in the late 90s, early 2000s. A lot of people started to recover, but they want to fix it where you don't recover. The only way out is death as far as these drugs, because they have chemically designed them for that. And unfortunately, Black people have not caught on to that. Of course, these younger people wouldn't know that, but it seemed like to me some of these older ones don't either, but they ought to. Okay, because they're supposed to be teaching the younger generation. Instead, they're introducing them to that and getting their old asses on drugs. You 50 years old and you don't want to got your ass sprung. So what do a lot of these kids have to look up to? But the thing that bothers me about young Scar's death is that even though they may say that there was no foul play, we know in the industry how they was just creating beefs, and these kids was just flat out coming up dead. And yes, people like Scar and them are children to me. um the FBI, I think the government, because so many people, all it takes is for us to start paying close attention to it, and they'll have to change it up. The government is now paying closer attention to it. I think FBI has gotten involved in a lot of stuff, especially as it relates to this rap situation, because now people feel like their claim to fame is to go take a human being's life. That is what's being promoted in these back rooms. And unfortunately, these people, younger people, don't think, and they go do it. They don't understand they're going to jail for life, right? Or retaliation, they may end up dead, right? But so now, since we got the government looking so closely, or we got the FBI, I think the feds and stuff are involved in a lot of stuff. I think about this Young Dolls case. So when you think about the Young Dolls case and how um deep I'm hearing that the feds is in on this case, like deep, like I'm hearing that the Young Dolls case go deeper than what people would know, because they're actually trying to get to the core of what the real problem is, and it ain't straight drop them. They're just the outer layer of what we see, but it goes deeper than that, which is a good thing, because as I always say, if you have to get the root of the tree and not just the branches and the limbs. I always talk about that, right? And so, so now, trust me, a lot of these record execs and these record heads know how deep the feds are in this, right? So even though they're not going to get on their social medias and say this to you, they know, because they get visits and knocks and they get questioned, but they're never going to tell you that. They have to make you think that they are getting away. That's what frustrates people, because they don't get on and tell, right? They're not going to. And I'm not saying that they should, but I'm just letting you know that they're not going to, but they are being, a lot of them that you wouldn't believe is getting knocks at their door and taken in for questioning, right? And it goes far beyond Memphis. So now that they know that the feds have zoned in there, a lot of them are telling some of their crash dummies, because they know now that they're going to be held responsible. Because see, it's easy to send somebody out when you can hide behind them. So with the feds digging deeper and seeing, because they going to follow the money trail, and they know these little dudes on the street ain't got no damn money. They trying to get some. They trying to get crumbs. They're ruining their lives for crumbs. So if they start getting to who the root of that tree is, which is the problem, which has got the whole tree rotten, so they're telling their crash dummies to come down. They come up with more innovative ways to start taking people out. Okay, and that's what I want a lot of these young brothers and sisters to understand. So now, you talking about a whole damn investigation if we see it on the news and somebody just shot up. So now when these record labels want to do a hit, maybe if you're already on lean, If you're already known to do drugs, it'll be easier to give you a lethal dose of something. If you are known to do this, it's just easier to give you a bad drug, or easier to put something in your lean. That's I'm not saying this is what happened to Scar. I'm just saying this is the route that they are taking now. Okay. So it's easier to do that, so that we could just say, well, he was on drugs, he overdosed. This is the route that they're taking. It's genocide. It's genocide. Y'all know I get passionate because I get so mad. The more I learn, it pisses me off. That's why I understand now, I do investigative work. A lot of people know I do investigative work. And so, depending on the contracts that I get, I have to work on certain situations. Some contracts I won't take. I just won't. But I remember the guy who trained me. He's a retired federal agent. He retired from the FBI. And I remember I used to be doing research when I first got started. I was so excited. Like, I came from the police department, so I was always a researcher. Like, I quietly just dig and I won't stop, because I always had this feeling about something. And he would always walk over to me and say, "What you doing? Tapping into the Pentagon?" Like, he loved it because he has a agency that I was working for at that time. He was training me, but he loved it. But he would always say, "You always go too deep. It's some things you don't even really need to know." That's why I say now, even with the Young Dolls case, it's some things I won't ask because I don't want to know, because it ain't even good to know. I had to figure that out later on, because people want to know everything. It ain't good to know, especially if you are not mature enough to handle it. But we start seeing, the good thing about it is, I think what people start seeing is it's ugly. And still, some of these young people still don't see, because they don't have any adults telling them the truth, that they are committing genocide on them. But these are our children. That's why I always say, when people say, well, you shouldn't feel sorry for Straight Drop. And I always say, well, wait a minute. Straight Drop has to pay for what he did to Young Dolph. He got to be convicted. I want him to pay for that, and everybody else that was involved. But I say, but it's 100,000 straight drops out there. But I want the straight drop is just the limb of the tree. I want the motherfuckers that send him, because that's the problem. They're the ones that's ruining the young men like Straight Drop, that's really supposed to be carrying on our legacy when God take us up on off the scene, because we all got to go one day. But instead, what they're doing is they're looking at them as numbers and crash dummies. They could become numbers when they go to prison for life anyway. So they're looking at them as numbers, either to go to jail, to tricking them into, or finessing them into doing their dirty work by dangling money in front of them because they know that they're poor, getting them on drugs. Once they get them on drugs, when they get into the music industry, the strategy is to get them on drugs even more, so that they're never conscious enough to see how they're financially raping them and things of that nature. Okay. I speak about this all the time. It's the truth. So you talk about people like Big Scar, okay? And Big Scar, for some reason, when I saw Big Scar, I knew he talked about him being the Grim Reaper. But I remember earlier part of this year, when I started looking into the Young Dolls case and things of that nature, and I started looking at his interviews, and even though he wore that mask, it was something about his spirit, whereas you could tell that, and I'm sure all kids do stuff that they shouldn't do, but you could tell that his heart was different, and he was very, very talented. Okay. It was. And I don't know why, but I thought about him often. I did, because I know people at one time wanted to say that he was involved with the Young Dolph situation. I was like, I don't know. He ain't had nothing to do with that. And another thing that kind of stands out to me, other than, and I want to show y'all that, it's just very concerning to me that the morning, okay, the morning that, hold on, you guys, I want to make sure. I want to make sure that I am showing the right thing. I want to show you guys the morning that at about 9 o'clock. And I put this up when I went live. When I first heard that he had passed away, I went to his Facebook page and found this. Okay. And this is from the video that I did the other day, right after it was released that he had passed away. I immediately went to his Facebook page. Hold on. Let me see how I can make this bigger. Okay. And he was saying, MF's shit crazy. MF's I'll give the shirt off my back to, trying to walk out on me. Am I supposed to be nigga stole some money from me? Shit. He said she, but I mean, he probably meant to say shit. That's why I be by myself. Okay. And when he posted that, it was like 10 hours before. It was like 9 o'clock that morning. The exact cause of death, we don't know, but we got it at around 6 or 7 o'clock. So hours before that morning, he had posted that about somebody stealing from him and somebody trying to walk out on him. And then he says, if you want to book me, as it goes on, he gave some names of the people. I don't know if those were new people that he had brought on. And he was like, I don't do bad business. Okay. So, I mean, just not just being an investigator, but I'm thinking any logical person, of course, that kind of stands out. I mean, it stands out. You know, does it mean anything? There's no proof that anybody that he was talking to did anything to him. But you, like I was just saying before, we have to be careful because they're committing genocide on these young men, and the feds are all over these record companies. So no, they're not going to have their artists at this point. If they could have little crash dummies like they did with Young Dolph to go out and kill somebody that they want gone, and it not trace back to them, and the crash dummies go down because they don't give a damn about them, of course they would do that. But now people are talking. These crash dummies, people are telling, and a lot of these record heads and stuff have been getting visits from the federal agents. So I feel like they're they're finding another way now, and it ain't nothing new. They've been doing it. Okay, to take these artists out a more innovative way. Okay, well, we don't need no more blood in the street. We can't, we'll get somebody else to. He already on drugs and things of that nature. He already do lean, and I'm not just directing it at Scar. I'm just saying this is what they're doing. And so that's why I say Big Scar's death has a question mark to me. Big Scar was getting ready to go on tour with Key Glock. We already know folks start freaking out when somebody get ready to do something with Pre. We already know that was going to be a big show. Key Glock and Big Scar. It seemed like to me, was somebody jealous? Was somebody mad? When I saw that on his page, I mean, it's always something. My heart flutters, and that be the spirit of God telling me that something is not right. But when I saw that when he on his page, when he first was, that he was, putting up posters and things of that nature, talking about he was going on tour with Key Glock in March, starting March 5th. Having Key Glock's fans and his fans come together, we already know that that was a big show already. Folks was already excited. Who was jealous? Did somebody not want that to happen? I mean, you just never know. And that's why I say you have to be careful, because it's so many snakish people that it is ridiculous. They will do anything, especially if they're jealous or they feel like it's going to help them more. If they feel like it's going to get them more attention by a record head, they'll go and do anything if they have access to certain people. I'm just speaking, I'm not talking about anybody in particular. I'm just saying these folks ain't got no conscience about what they do anymore. They flat out demonic. And that is my message to the Black artists. They are committing genocide on you. They're using you all to kill off each other, and they're using that instability, that emotion of jealousy and being on drugs. Because being jealous and being a drug head, that is the deadliest thing that one can have. Because when those two come together, there's no logic. And that's a dangerous thing, okay? But rest in peace to Big Scar. My heart goes out to his family and his true friends and fans that truly loved him. And if there has been any foul play, I'm praying for justice, not just for him, but these young artists need to be careful. Get off of this lean. It's liquid heroin. It's liquid heroin. This is what they keep them on. A lot of these artists that's on this lean in their 20s, they look like they're in their 50s. You drinking liquid heroin every day, it ain't nothing good about that. They taking Percocets. It's a shame before God. But this is what they put into our community to destroy our Black children. And that's why I say the parents have to be more instrumental now. Just say no to drugs. When these record labels start introducing you into these parties, into stronger stuff, it is to control you. They put people on you. They put women on you. They put other people on you to introduce you to these drugs. And it's all to control you. And when you're dead, who wins? The record company, the record labels, and things of that nature, because they got all the damn insurance on you and they control your stuff. So I want these artists to start thinking more about that. But rest in peace to Big Scar. As I said that first night, I said God gives us 75 years. Big Scar was 22 years old. The devil robbed him, as I said the first night, of 50 years of his life. The enemy comes to steal, kill, and destroy, and that's what happened. Okay? And I always go back and say, as I said before, because I see people watch me and record me and go and regurgitate everything I say and then say they came up with it. Try to make folks think that I'm watching them and I came up with. I don't watch a lot of these people that's regurgitating and becoming a carbon copy of me. It's sickening though. Okay? But anyways, you guys, I want you to like, share, and subscribe. I want you to know how much I appreciate you. I'm getting ready to make my Venezuelan chicken salad. So that's all my mom required that I make. And I'm gonna do some pineapple cheesecake bites. So that I always cook my stuff the day before, so that I can go to my mother's house. And then my aunt is having a family pajama party, and it's just for a few hours, so where the family gets together on Christmas Eve and commune and all of that. But I want you all to enjoy your families. Be thankful of everybody that you have in your family. I want you to be safe, but I want y'all to meditate on these things. And God put this in my spirit because I know that people struggle a lot with peace. People don't have peace no more. But I want y'all to meditate on this scripture God gave me. I had to go and get it. It is Philippians 4:8. It says, finally, brethren, whatever things are true, whatever things are honest, whatever so things are just, whatever things are pure, whatever so things are lovely, whatever so things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. Clear your mind of junk. That's the word. That means rid yourself of junk, because junk keeps us stirred up with no peace, keeps us angry all the time. Get people out of your life. We're going into 2023 that don't mean you no good, that don't bring any balance to your life, that brings nothing. All they are blood suckers. They are vultures. They come to suck the life out of you. Get them up out your life. Get back into your children's lives. Okay? Get off of the alcohol and the drugs. Stop having a codependent personality. Because when you get high, trying to get away from your problems, when you come down off of that high, you still gonna have the same damn problems waiting on you. As a matter of fact, you're gonna have more because when you up there high, things are happening to your children. People are molesting and raping your kids. When you up there high, your children are vulnerable. So when you come down off of that high, there are more problems that have been created. Whereas those problems may not have been created had you been conscious and down, dealing with your problems. Okay? But think on those things, you guys, because it is so much stuff going on. They're committing genocide on our young men and women, and they're doing it right in front of our eyes. And they got these fuck niggas that are, Lord forgive me, I know it's Christmas Eve. I said I was going because I'm not a real big cusser, but when I get mad, it comes out. My daughter was looking at my page. She said, "Ma, you don't cuss like that." I said, "But I will cuss. When I get mad, it comes up." I have passion for our community. And we got people that look like us that's thinking they're gonna get to the top, committing genocide on our community, killing the women and the children and the young men and young women. Eyes are gonna be a star on YouTube, violating you on YouTube, and they get ready to go to jail. They don't know it yet. Okay. But we have to change our mindset so that we can be examples to the generation that comes behind us. As I always say, what we do is not about us. It's about the people that come behind us. First of all, it's about God. Okay? And it's about the people that comes behind us. What we do is not for us. We do it to make it better for the people that come behind us. A lot of people have forgotten that. Some people are so selfish, they don't even think about leaving legacies for their children. I got to live for myself. It ain't about you. And when people realize that their lives are going to change, with my prayer is for God to remove all people that's keeping our race held back, destroy them, remove them by any means necessary. That means any gatekeeper, anything, anybody on YouTube, some of these folks that's being paid by some of these record labels that's got y'all tricked like they really for certain folks, and they affiliated with the camp that have hurt some of these rappers, and they tricking y'all. And they don't like me because they know I know. But if I know, it comes by way of the authorities knowing. So you don't have to worry about evil people for long, because a lot of them are already being watched on and off of social media. And God is getting ready to use the people that he has put in place to remove them. Mark my word. Evil will never win. It never has, and it never will. Darkness never overrule light. It just can't do it. So I say to a lot of you that straddle the fence, get your ass off of that fence. Some of you ride the fence so much you got splinters up your ass, and you better get on the side of what's right. Because the seeds that you sow, it's reaping season. And the seeds that you sow, those are the seeds that's going to grow. And they're going to grow in your own front yard, which means if you ain't right, they're going to get all the people around you. So get your life right. But rest in peace to Big Scar. We have to set examples for people like him. So talented. It hurts me every time I think about he's not here. It hurts me. It's just some of these deaths that really pull at my heartstrings, and that's one of them. Not just because he's a Memphian, because I saw that child had a good spirit. Dolphs pulled at my heartstrings. Okay? So we have to be examples for the generations to come. But I ask for God to give the generations behind us the eyes to see, the ears to hear, and the mind to have the knowledge to see what's truly going on to make the right decisions. Okay? Because we're not going to be there to tell them what to do. Always. They got to have the right mind to do it. Money is not their God. And I ask God to give them the knowledge and the heart to accept and know that. Because it's a lot of people ruining their lives, their own lives, because they made money their God. A lot of this stuff that these people ask them, they ought to look at them and say, nigga, you want me to go do it here for you? Go fuck yourself. Go get your daddy to do it. Because they think just that much of themselves, and then they'll get to a point where they know not to ask you to do certain things because they already know that you care too much about yourself to be going out doing a lot of this stuff they want you to do. They wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it because they want to continue. They feel like they too good. They know what comes behind a lot of this stuff that they got these youngins doing. That's the reason why they send them out and they put 2 and 3 people in between it in hopes that it never trace back to them. You go talk to such and such, he go talk to such and such, but I want 5 or 6 people in between whatever this deal is, so it never touched me because I'm too important. I can't go to jail. But they'll send somebody's misled child out that has not been validated oftentimes. And so I ask God to touch the heart of the young people so that they can understand their self-worth, touch their parents, and so that they can start teaching it to them and start removing any vessel to include these fucking OGs. Kill them out, get them out of here. Sometimes people have to go. Start giving them heart attacks. Okay? If they are going to continuously ruin our community, sometimes people have to go. And in 2023, those that have been ruining our community, they get ready to fall on their own sword. Okay? They're going to fall on their own sword. Okay? But anyways, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Okay? I want you guys to know that I appreciate and love you so much. And I say this with a lot of love and passion. I don't wish that up on nobody, but we rather see them gone than for them to continuously ruin our community. Get your life right. Ain't none of us perfect, but we don't see none of us out here ruining people, telling them to go do hits and things of that nature. Participating with the people who have committed genocide on our community to keep our community in bondage. These black record labels is wrong as hell for what they doing to these young dudes. They offer them fame, but no wealth. A lump sum of money, but no real, true generational wealth. And they participate in that when they should have been trying to get on the level of Young Dolph and take the industry by storm and promote independence. Instead, they kill him. Okay? So that there could be some real generational wealth. But God, get ready to bring all that down. I promise you. But anyways, you guys, please like, share, and subscribe. Rest in peace to Big Scar. My heart goes out to his loved ones and his family. May God give them peace in this storm, okay? I love you guys. Have a very Merry Christmas. I don't know if I'll be back on tonight. I doubt I will. I don't know if I'll be on tomorrow either. But I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas. I love you guys. Talk with you later.